What's up, everyone? My name is Rad, and I am here today bringing you my guide on Herta. I'll be going over her traces, talent, technique, Eidolons, recommended light cones, relics, and team compositions. I want to make all of my character guides as concise but detailed as possible. She will be level 50 and Ascension 4 for this guide. Mainly it's because resources post Trailblaze level 50 are a bit more limited, so I have to split them evenly, so I hope that's okay. Timestamps will be listed down below in the description. Without further ado, let's drop that transition. Per usual, traces up first. What are you looking at? This is Herta's basic attack. She dishes out ice damage equal to X amount of her attack to a singular enemy. One time offer. This is her skill, which is an AoE. She dishes out ice damage equal to X amount of her attack to all enemies in the battlefield. If their HP percentage is at 50% or higher, the damage she deals increases by a further 20%. This skill is just solid considering it's just an AoE and it hits everyone. It's magic. I added some. This is her ultimate. Same as her skill, she dishes out ice damage to all enemies equal to X amount of her attack. Again, it's just mainly an AoE, so it's good. Fine, I'll do it myself. This is her talent. Basically, when one of your other units damages an enemy that causes their HP to go under 50%, Herta performs a follow-up attack that does ice damage equal to X amount of her attack to all enemies. And again, it's just another AoE attack that she does. Now look, I play Honkai style with Korean voiceover, but for this skill, I will especially play it on Japan voiceover just for this awesome community. Enjoy. It can still be optimized. This is her technique. Upon performing her technique, and then when in the beginning of battle, Herta's attack increases by 40% for 3 turns. Quite nice, as it just adds a lot of extra attack. Can't complain. Abilities. Efficiency. Ascension 2 unlock. It just adds an extra 25% damage boost effect against enemies when she uses her skill. Pretty good, as it is extra damage, which is always nice. Puppet. Ascension 4 unlock. This will make it so crowd control debuffs aren't as effective on her. The boost is by 35%, which is quite nice. Lastly, Icing. Ascension 6 unlock. If enemies are frozen when you perform her ultimate, she'll dish out 20% more damage to those enemies. Another damage boost, so it's nice. So, Herta's Eidolons are quite interesting. At base, she's decent, but with Eidolons, I'm just going to be honest, they don't really add much to her kit besides just extra damage. I'll be skipping her E3 and E5, as they only add levels to her skills respectively. E1, kick you when you're down. Herta's basic attack now deals additional ice damage equal to 40% of her attack if an enemy's HP is at 50% or lower. It's okay, but conditional since it relies on a HP threshold just like some of her other skills. E2, keep the ball rolling. She receives a crit rate boost of 3% for every time her talent is procced. It can stack up to 5 times. This one is nice as it adds passive crit rate throughout the battle. E4, hit where it hurts. She'll gain a 10% damage increase when her talent is procced. Good as well, as it just adds extra damage. Lastly, E6, no one can betray me. She'll receive a 25% attack increase for 1 turn upon performing her ultimate. Extra attack, again, can't complain, I suppose. Look, here's the thing. Unless you really like or enjoy Herta, you don't really need her Eidolons. They aren't game changing is the best way I can put it. She is fun, but don't expect some type of power spike. In terms of light cones, all of these are just my recommendations, so if you prefer something else, that is totally alright. Herta is of the Path of Erudition. For 5 stars, I recommend Before Dawn. This will increase her crit damage and also her skill and ultimate damage. As well, after using her skill or ultimate, you'll gain the effect Somnus Corpus. When you perform a follow-up attack, Somnus Corpus will be consumed and now the follow-up attack damage is increased. This just synergizes fantastically with her, considering she will mainly be built with crit. She makes use of the crit damage. The skill and ultimate damage gain is a nice boost, but mainly Somnus Corpus provides a follow-up attack damage increase, which is something she will be doing a lot of. Next up, Night on the Milky Way. This will increase her attack for every enemy that is on the field, and when weakness break is caused, it will increase the damage dealt by her for 1 turn. Decent light cone for her, but I'd rather use other 4-star options in my opinion. For 4 stars, I recommend the Seriousness of Breakfast. It'll increase her overall damage, but also for every enemy defeated, it'll increase her attack for up to 3 stacks. A nice combination of boosted overall damage, but also an attack increase as well. Next up, the Birth of Self, which is her signature light cone. It'll increase Herta's follow-up attack damage, but also if the current HP of the enemy is equal to 50% or lower, it'll add another extra damage boost to her follow-up attack by the same amount. So in this case, at Superimposition 1, it'll be a 48% follow-up attack damage boost. With Superimposition 5, well, it gets kind of crazy, to be honest. And this one is quite good because it also synergizes super well with not just her talent, but her whole kit. Next up will be Today is Another Peaceful Day. Upon entering battle, it'll increase her overall damage based on her max energy. Damage will increase by X amount per point of energy up to 160 energy. Pretty good, as it is just passive damage boost to everything for her. Her max energy is 110, which is a bit on the lower end, but it's still solid on her. For 3 stars, any of the ones currently available are a solid option. Data Bank, it'll increase her ultimate damage. Passkey, she'll regenerate energy every turn upon using her skill. Lastly, Sagacity, when she uses her ultimate, she'll gain an attack boost for 2 turns. Relic section for Herta will be quick. As always, use what you have available. This is only my recommendation. Her best set, in my opinion, is a 2+2 of Hunter of Glacial Forest with a Musketeer of a Wild Wheat. You'll gain a 10% ice damage boost on top of a 12% attack boost from a Musketeer of Wild Wheat. Best of both worlds. You can also use a 4-piece set of a Musketeer of Wild Wheat. You'll retain the 12% attack boost, but also gain a 6% speed and 12% basic attack damage boost, respectively. Primary stats to look out for are on the body, crit rate on the feet, attack percentage, or speed. Feet will always be a personal preference, so just go with what you like the most. Substats to look out for are crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage, or speed. For planner ornaments, I recommend a Space Sealing Station. It'll increase her attack by 12% and a further 12% if her speed is at 120 or higher. Great all-around ornament, I'd say. Next up, Inert Salsodo, a boost crit rate by 8% and increases ultimate and follow-up attack damage by 15% when crit rate is 50% or higher. This ornament is just great for all DPS, plus Herta makes great use of the whole ornament set overall. For primary stats to look out for, on the Planner Sphere, I'd say ice damage, and on the Link Rope, attack percentage. For substats, crit damage, crit rate, attack percentage, or speed. In terms of team compositions, honestly, just slot her anywhere you want. For the most part, she'll be your sub DPS. Some will run her as a main DPS, which is totally cool as well. Here are just some on screen that I thought of that will work well for her. Look, I love Herta. I love her demeanor, her character, her design, her lore. But I am also realistic when it comes to characters and their performance, what they provide, etc. Herta, while she does her job as a DPS serviceable, that is all she honestly provides. I'm not saying you can't use Herta anywhere. You definitely can. It's just there are much better options out there. M7, for example, while she isn't a DPS, she provides much more to a team through her utility. So, should you level up Herta? Like I mentioned earlier, if you really like her, you're a Herta enthusiast or an enjoyer, go for it. Don't let me or anyone deter you from such. But for my personal answer, I would say no. You're much better using or saving up your resources on someone else. My Kuru guide is now wrapped. Sadly, not sure when will be the next time I say Kuru, but it was fun. If you enjoyed today's video, think about dropping me a like or a dislike. If you didn't, I'm always up to the constructive criticism. Also, if you've been enjoying the Honkai Star Raw content, think about subscribing to the channel. On the road to 400 subscribers, would greatly appreciate it. As always, my name is Rad. You're all awesome. See you later.